All right, part two, commencing. E46 alternator is overcharging. So what you want to do is you can use any standard fan clutch tool from basically the golden era, E46, E38, E39. I believe the E60 and E83 also use these. So you're gonna go, this is reverse thread. So righty loosey, lefty tighty. You want to hold it with the counter tool. I think that end is the one I used. And then you hold it with the counter tool, righty loosey, crack it off, and then you can just spin it off. And then, whoa, the whole unit will come out. We're going to set this over somewhere safe. Okay. Type 1 diabetic, Dexcom. Alright. So now having a better look at things, here we go. Better look at things. Looks like the valve cover is bleeding pretty good, as expected at this age and mileage. But first we want to see if we can fix the transmission and the alternator issue. It's got an intermittent failsafe, so we're going to do our best to see what's going on with it. Looks like this is the manual style tensioner. Okay, and then we're gonna do the AC belt as well. Looks like that's also the manual, spring loaded. So that's what we're going to do. You also take the two, I think it's like a 13 or a 14. They mount on the oil filter housing. That's for the power steering reservoir. I'll move her to the side. But that's pretty much it. So, where we are at is down. As I was saying, older cars, I guess preface like this one, there is that, sorry, there is this, sorry, this piece here. You want to swing that to the right as if you were to tighten. So you're going to swing that, I think that's 16. Swing it to the right and slip the belt off partially. And then in the back, it's going to be the plastic cap is like a 17. Right there. And that's going to take the positive end off. This is the rectangular connector. Alright, so you get a 16 on there. Need a better light. It's just down there, straight in, and try and rig this up in a way where you can see what I'm doing. Okay. This is really hard to do with one hand. And hold the light and hold the camera. Alright, I'm just going to use the extension. There's a nice washer on there. So, that being the bottom, leave that there. Alternator is free. And we're going to go ahead and try to wiggle her out. But gonna get a pry bar and a dead blow. So there's a lot of fun stuff. I think that's it. She's out. She's out. So this is a Bosch unit. Awesome. And she looks nasty though. Alternator out. Now we wait for the new one to come. It would be a great time to do the oil filter housing gasket, bracket gasket, but what are you gonna do? We'll do that after. We've got to see if the transmission can be revived out of limp mode first. But first is proper voltage for the entire system. And that starts with a good alternator. Alright, welcome back. We got the alternator finally. And looks like we got a nasty oil leak. So, let's see if I can pick the camera up. Oh. Oil filter housing, probably the culprit. Oil filter housing, most likely. So, okay. So there's going to be, there's the one there through the bottom, and then there's one on the top. Low on battery, you say? Alright, welcome back. We got the alternator in. 16 millimeter here. I want to say Alright, so you want to hit the bottom and then the top, the idler, and it's got a notch right there. So now Positive battery cable back on. In there. And then you want to throw the plastic nut back on. That's a 17. Where is the 17? I don't know what I did with it. Huh. Plug. There we go. Okay, everything looks good. Air duct. It's clipped in. Oh, I gotta put the AC belt on. Dang it. It's a 17. Ugh. Alright, so for AC belt. Okay, AC belt back on. Here's your tensioner release. This will be a 17 millimeter. Now we got to put the fan clutch in. Okay, so fan clutch time. There's a nut right down there. For me, for the E46, that side. And we're going lefty tighty, so I'm gonna want to hold that like that. Come on. Oops. Looks good to me. So after the fan's in, what you got to do, shout out to Haynes. Whoa, What you gotta do, oh, almost forgot. Power steering pump. I'm sorry, power steering reservoir. Sits on the oil filter housing. A couple 10 mils or whatever they are. I think they're like 13s actually, 14s or something. And no. So now we're ready for the fan shroud. Not going to worry about that just right now though. Going to clean up, head home for a little bit, eat some lunch. They're always a pain. Every time. Okay, we're gonna go and plug the battery in. No more limp mode, baby. All right. So the E46 lives to see another day. This is good news.
We hear from the campaigner who fought against
So we've got no more. Let's check the AC.
Those stories after the latest BBC World Service News. Hello, this is Danielle Yawowiecka with the BBC News. Ukraine says the United Nations and the Red Cross must be...
Everything's working. This guy's just hanging out. You gonna come for a ride with me? Oh yeah. Well, that's it for today. The E46 is back in action. It lives to fight another day. Looks like the alternator voltage regulator was overcharging in this scenario, and it was the system had like fluctuating between like 16 and like almost up to 18 volts. Which is no good, no bueno for a CAN bus. So after the alternator, idler, tensioner, belt, and fresh battery, she's back to life and there's no more transmission issues. EGS functioning as it should. Hasn't been scanned with ISTA. We're gonna go ahead and scan it tomorrow with the laptop and see exactly what it's holding for codes. So good news, very good news. I'm very happy with it. Very happy. So stay tuned, and tomorrow we're gonna write up a full list and give it a good once over and see everything that it needs. Gonna give it a full list, full checkup. So stay tuned. That's all. I'm Jason. H&S, and we're going home for the night.